CLEP Principles of Management Diversity Management. Question 1. Where does a new customer segment appears in the market during a compliance review for the Greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, weakness. Option B, opportunity. Option C, strength. Option D, policy. The correct answer is option B, opportunity. Opportunity fits because an opportunity is an external condition the organization can use to improve results. Weakness is different because it is inside the organization, strength is different because it is an internal advantage, and policy is different because it is a general decision guideline. Question 2. Should a student connect a supervisor is responsible for 12 direct reports during a merger discussion for the Greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, chain of command. Option B, unity of direction. Option C, job specification. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option D, span of control. Span of control fits because span of control is the number of employees reporting directly to a manager. Chain of command is different because it shows reporting lines rather than number of reports. Unity of direction is different because it aligns activities under one plan, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications. Question 3. Which concept is shown when employees move among different positions to learn broader skills inside a hospital department for the Greenfield unit? Option A, job enlargement. Option B, job enrichment. Option C, job rotation. Option D, specialization. The correct answer is option C, job rotation. Job rotation fits because job rotation shifts employees through different jobs to build variety and experience. Job enlargement is different because it adds similar tasks to one job. Job enrichment is different because it increases responsibility and meaning, and specialization is different because it narrows work into specific tasks. Question 4. An employee is motivated by achievement, recognition, responsibility, and growth in a remote service team for the Greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, Maslow's hierarchy. Option B, Herzberg's two-factor theory. Option C, equity theory. Option D, scientific management. The correct answer is option B, Herzberg's two-factor theory. Herzberg's two-factor theory fits because Herzberg separates motivators from hygiene factors and links motivators to job satisfaction. Maslow's hierarchy is different because it organizes human needs in levels. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness of reward ratios, and scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency. Question 5. During a management case, a manager sets objectives and chooses actions before work begins at a logistics company for the Greenfield unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, organizing. Option B, leading. Option C, controlling. Option D, planning. The correct answer is option D, planning. Planning fits because planning is the function that defines goals and decides how to reach them. Organizing is different because it arranges resources after goals are set. Leading is different because it influences people to work toward goals, and controlling is different because it measures results against standards. Question 6. How should a manager classify a situation where an engineer reports to both a functional manager and a project manager inside a software company for the Greenfield unit? Option A, functional structure. Option B, matrix structure. Option C, centralization. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option B, matrix structure. Matrix structure fits because a matrix structure combines functional and project authority, creating dual reporting. Functional structure is different because it usually has one functional chain. Centralization is different because it refers to where decisions are made, and job analysis is different because it studies the content of a job. Question 7. When employees receive health insurance, paid leave, and retirement contributions inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, benefits. Option B, base pay. Option C, selection. Option D, SWOT analysis. The correct answer is option A, benefits. Benefits fits because benefits are indirect forms of compensation beyond direct wages or salary. Base pay is different because it is direct wage or salary compensation. Selection is different because it chooses employees, and SWOT analysis is different because it reviews strategic factors. Question 8. After a theorist emphasizes hierarchy, formal rules, and impersonal treatment during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, human relations management. Option B, bureaucratic management. Option C, transformational leadership. Option D, JIT inventory. The correct answer is option B, bureaucratic management. Bureaucratic management fits because bureaucratic management explains organizations through formal authority, rules, and specialization. Human relations management is different because it emphasizes social and psychological factors. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires change through vision, and JIT inventory is different because it reduces inventory holding. Question 9. If executives choose broad long-term goals for the whole organization during an operations review for the greenfield unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, operational planning. Option B, work scheduling. Option C, strategic planning. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option C, strategic planning. Strategic planning fits because strategic planning sets organization-wide direction over a longer time horizon. Operational planning is different because it focuses on short-term day-to-day activities. Work scheduling is different because it assigns timing to tasks, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employee results. Question 10. To analyze a case where employees organize as a group to represent their workplace interests during a strategic planning session for the greenfield unit, which term should be selected? Option A, quality circle. Option B, functional department. Option C, labor union. Option D, mission statement. The correct answer is option C, labor union. Labor union fits because a labor union represents workers collectively in dealing with management. Quality circle is different because it focuses on work improvement suggestions. Functional department is different because it groups similar work, and mission statement is different because it states purpose. Question 11. For an exam item where a manager studies how changes in one department affect suppliers, employees, and customers during a compliance review for the greenfield unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, scientific management. Option B, job specification. Option C, downward communication. Option D, systems theory. The correct answer is option D, systems theory. Systems theory fits because systems theory views the organization as interdependent parts within a larger environment. Scientific management is different because it focuses on efficient task design. Job specification is different because it lists worker qualifications, and downward communication is different because it describes message direction. Question 12. In a workplace example where employees are grouped into departments such as finance, marketing, and operations during a merger discussion for the greenfield unit, which concept is tested? Option A, divisional structure. Option B, matrix structure. Option C, virtual team. Option D, functional structure. The correct answer is option D, functional structure. Functional structure fits because a functional structure groups people by similar skills or activities. Divisional structure is different because it groups by product, customer, or geography. Matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines, and virtual team is different because it works across distance through technology. Question 13. Before choosing an answer about a high potential employee is prepared for future leadership roles inside a hospital department for the greenfield unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, training. Option B, development. Option C, selection. Option D, job description. The correct answer is option B, development. Development fits because development builds long-term capabilities for future responsibilities. Training is different because it focuses more on current job skills. Selection is different because it chooses candidates, and job description is different because it lists current duties. Question 14. One manager notices that a team produces the same output using fewer resources in a remote service team for the greenfield unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, effectiveness. Option B, equity. Option C, efficiency. Option D, authority. The correct answer is option C, efficiency. Efficiency fits because efficiency means using resources wisely with minimal waste. Effectiveness is different because it means achieving the right goals. Equity is different because it concerns fairness, and authority is different because it is the right to make decisions. Question 15. Could a case where a job is redesigned to include more responsibility, achievement, and growth at a logistics company for the greenfield unit best point to which concept? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, job enlargement. Option C, job rotation. Option D, job simplification. The correct answer is option A, job enrichment. Job enrichment fits because job enrichment adds motivating factors to the depth of a job. Job enlargement is different because it adds more tasks at the same level. Job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs, and job simplification is different because it reduces task complexity. Question 16. Why would a scenario where a leader inspires employees with a vision for major change inside a software company for the Greenfield unit most likely test which idea? Option A, transformational leadership. Option B, transactional leadership. Option C, scientific management. Option D, budgetary control. The correct answer is option A, transformational leadership. Transformational leadership fits because transformational leadership motivates people through vision, meaning, and change. Transactional leadership is different because it focuses on exchanges and rewards. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency, and budgetary control is different because it monitors financial results. Question 17. Where does new employees learn basic policies, expectations, and workplace routines inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, recruitment. Option B, performance appraisal. Option C, orientation. Option D, arbitration. The correct answer is option C, orientation. Orientation fits because orientation introduces new hires to the organization and their jobs. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants. Performance appraisal is different because it evaluates results, and arbitration is different because it resolves disputes through a binding third party. Question 18. Should a student connect a manager postpones addressing a conflict and hopes it disappears during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, forcing. Option B, collaboration. Option C, avoidance. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option C, avoidance. Avoidance fits because avoidance delays or withdraws from conflict rather than solving it directly. Forcing is different because it uses authority to impose a solution. Collaboration is different because it openly works through both sides' concerns, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral facilitator. Question 19. Which concept is shown when employees work harder when they believe effort leads to performance and performance leads to valued rewards during an operations review for the Greenfield unit? Option A, equity theory. Option B, expectancy theory. Option C, reinforcement theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option B, expectancy theory. Expectancy theory fits because expectancy theory connects effort, performance, and outcomes. Equity theory is different because it centers on fairness comparisons. Reinforcement theory is different because it focuses on consequences after behavior, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 20. Nearby countries reduce trade barriers and coordinate economic activity during a strategic planning session for the Greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, job specialization. Option B, performance appraisal. Option C, feedback control. Option D, regional economic integration. The correct answer is option D, regional economic integration. Regional economic integration fits because regional economic integration occurs when countries cooperate economically within a region. Job specialization is different because it divides work into narrow tasks. Performance appraisal is different because it evaluates employees, and feedback control is different because it reviews completed results. Question 21. During a management case, employees strongly value group harmony and loyalty to the team during a compliance review for the Greenfield unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, collectivism. Option B, individualism. Option C, uncertainty avoidance. Option D, equity theory. The correct answer is option A, collectivism. Collectivism fits because collectivism emphasizes group identity and shared obligations. Individualism is different because it emphasizes personal achievement. Uncertainty avoidance is different because it concerns ambiguity, and equity theory is different because it concerns fairness comparisons. Question 22. How should a manager classify a situation where a project display shows tasks as bars across a timeline during a merger discussion for the Greenfield unit? Option A, organization chart. Option B, SWOT table. Option C, Gantt chart. Option D, balance sheet. The correct answer is option C, Gantt chart. Gantt chart fits because a Gantt chart visually schedules project activities over time. Organization chart is different because it shows reporting relationships. SWOT table is different because it summarizes strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and balance sheet is different because it reports assets, liabilities, and equity. Question 23. When a team ignores warning signs because members want agreement more than realistic evaluation inside a hospital department for the Greenfield unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, constructive conflict. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, equity theory. Option D, groupthink. The correct answer is option D, groupthink. Groupthink fits because groupthink occurs when pressure for harmony weakens critical thinking. Constructive conflict is different because it encourages useful disagreement. Benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices, and equity theory is different because it focuses on perceived fairness. Question 24. After an employee receives more tasks at the same skill level in a remote service team for the Greenfield unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, job rotation. Option C, job enlargement. Option D, empowerment. The correct answer is option C, job enlargement. Job enlargement fits because job enlargement expands the number of similar tasks in a job. Job enrichment is different because it adds deeper responsibility and growth. Job rotation is different because it moves people among different jobs, and empowerment is different because it gives decision authority. Question 25. If HR studies the tasks, duties, and requirements of a position at a logistics company for the Greenfield unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, recruitment. Option C, job analysis. Option D, collective bargaining. The correct answer is option C, job analysis. Job analysis fits because job analysis collects information about what a job involves and what worker qualities it requires. Job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor agreements. Question 26. To analyze a case where employees in marketing and operations coordinate work at the same level inside a software company for the Greenfield unit, which term should be selected? Option A, horizontal communication. Option B, downward communication. Option C, upward communication. Option D, chain of command. The correct answer is option A, horizontal communication. Horizontal communication fits because horizontal communication occurs among people or units at similar levels. Downward communication is different because it flows down the hierarchy, upward communication is different because it flows up the hierarchy, and chain of command is different because it shows formal authority lines. Question 27. For an exam item where managers estimate future sales before setting staffing levels inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, delegation. Option B, forecasting. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option B, forecasting. Forecasting fits because forecasting predicts future conditions so managers can plan more intelligently. Delegation is different because it assigns responsibility and authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to a job, and mediation is different because it uses a neutral party to guide dispute resolution. Question 28. In a workplace example where a team writes a goal that is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit, which concept is tested? Option A, vision statement. Option B, grapevine. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, SMART goal. The correct answer is option D, SMART goal. SMART goal fits because SMART goals are clear enough to guide action and evaluate results. Vision statement is different because it describes a desired future rather than a measurable target. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and bureaucracy is different because it is a formal rule-based structure. Question 29. Before choosing an answer about HR builds a pool of applicants for an open position during an operations review for the Greenfield unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, selection. Option B, orientation. Option C, recruitment. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option C, recruitment. Recruitment fits because recruitment attracts qualified candidates to apply. Selection is different because it chooses among applicants. Orientation is different because it introduces hired employees, and performance appraisal is different because it evaluates work results. Question 30. One manager notices that team members write ideas silently, discuss them, and rank the options during a strategic planning session for the Greenfield unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, nominal group technique. Option B, brainstorming. Option C, grapevine. Option D, job analysis. The correct answer is option A, nominal group technique. Nominal group technique fits because the nominal group technique reduces dominance by collecting individual ideas before voting. Brainstorming is different because it usually encourages open idea generation. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job analysis is different because it studies work duties. Question 31. Could a case where a production manager directly supervises employees who make the company's product during a compliance review for the Greenfield unit best point to which concept? Option A, staff authority. Option B, informal authority. Option C, line authority. Option D, mediation. The correct answer is option C, line authority. Line authority fits because line authority is direct authority over core work activities. Staff authority is different because it provides advice and support. Informal authority is different because it comes from relationships rather than formal position, and mediation is different because it helps parties settle a dispute. Question 32. Why would a scenario where employees from different backgrounds are actively involved in meetings and decisions during a merger discussion for the Greenfield unit most likely test which idea? Option A, recruitment. Option B, filtering. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, inclusion. The correct answer is option D, inclusion. Inclusion fits because inclusion means people are welcomed, respected, and able to contribute. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, filtering is different because it distorts communication, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy. Question 33. Where does branch managers are allowed to solve local customer problems without headquarters approval inside a hospital department for the Greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, decentralization. Option B, centralization. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option A, decentralization. Decentralization fits because decentralization gives lower levels more authority to make decisions. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at the top, bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes rules and hierarchy, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 34. Should a student connect a team includes employees with different backgrounds, experiences, and perspectives in a remote service team for the Greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, uniformity. Option B, centralization. Option C, workforce diversity. Option D, budget variance. The correct answer is option C, workforce diversity. Workforce diversity fits because workforce diversity refers to differences among employees that can affect work and decisions. Uniformity is different because it means sameness rather than difference. Centralization is different because it keeps authority at higher levels, and budget variance is different because it compares financial actuals with planned amounts. Question 35. Which concept is shown when a manager has the formal right to make decisions and direct work at a logistics company for the Greenfield unit? Option A, responsibility. Option B, accountability. Option C, authority. Option D, motivation. The correct answer is option C, authority. Authority fits because authority is the legitimate right to command resources and give orders. Responsibility is different because it is the duty to perform assigned work. Accountability is different because it is being answerable for results, and motivation is different because it is the drive to act. Question 36. Leaders explain the organization's basic purpose and reason for existing inside a software company for the Greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, mission statement. Option B, procedure. Option C, variance report. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option A, mission statement. Mission statement fits because a mission statement states what the organization does and why it exists. Procedure is different because it gives step-by-step instructions. Variance report is different because it compares actual results with standards, and job specification is different because it lists qualifications for a job. Question 37. During a management case, a manager chooses a leadership style based on the team's skill and the situation inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, contingency theory. Option B, one best way approach. Option C, equity theory. Option D, centralization. The correct answer is option A, contingency theory. Contingency theory fits because contingency theory says effective management depends on situational factors. One best way approach is different because it assumes one method works everywhere. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions, and centralization is different because it concerns where authority is held. Question 38. How should a manager classify a situation where a company creates separate units for consumer products, business products, and services during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit? Option A, divisional structure. Option B, functional structure. Option C, simple structure. Option D, staff authority. The correct answer is option A, divisional structure. Divisional structure fits because a divisional structure groups work around products, customers, or regions. Functional structure is different because it groups by specialized activities. Simple structure is different because it has little formalization and few departments, and staff authority is different because it gives advice rather than a full divisional design. Question 39. When a manager uses rewards and consequences to increase desired behavior during an operations review for the greenfield unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, equity theory. Option B, goal-setting theory. Option C, reinforcement theory. Option D, matrix structure. The correct answer is option C, reinforcement theory. Reinforcement theory fits because reinforcement theory explains behavior through its consequences. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness perceptions. Goal-setting theory is different because it emphasizes clear and challenging goals, and matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting lines. Question 40. After an organization designs pay rates, incentives, and salary ranges during a strategic planning session for the greenfield unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, benefits. Option B, compensation. Option C, recruitment. Option D, quality control. The correct answer is option B, compensation. Compensation fits because compensation covers financial rewards given for employee work. Benefits is different because they are indirect rewards such as insurance or leave. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and quality control is different because it checks output against standards. Question 41. If leaders explain why old habits must change before introducing a new system during a compliance review for the greenfield unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, refreezing. Option B, unfreezing. Option C, controlling. Option D, recruiting. The correct answer is option B, unfreezing. Unfreezing fits because unfreezing prepares people to let go of current behaviors and accept change. Refreezing is different because it stabilizes the new behavior. Controlling is different because it measures performance against standards, and recruiting is different because it attracts applicants. Question 42. To analyze a case where an employee accepts the duty to complete an assigned task during a merger discussion for the greenfield unit, which term should be selected? Option A, authority. Option B, accountability. Option C, centralization. Option D, responsibility. The correct answer is option D, responsibility. Responsibility fits because responsibility is the obligation to perform assigned work. Authority is different because it is the right to direct work. Accountability is different because it is answerability for outcomes, and centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels. Question 43. For an exam item where a supervisor paraphrases an employee's concern before responding inside a hospital department for the greenfield unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, active listening. Option B, filtering. Option C, noise. Option D, downward control. The correct answer is option A, active listening. Active listening fits because active listening checks understanding and shows attention to the speaker. Filtering is different because it distorts information before it reaches the receiver. Noise is different because it interferes with communication, and downward control is different because it is not a standard communication concept. Question 44. In a workplace example where a supervisor formally evaluates an employee's job results against standards in a remote service team for the greenfield unit, which concept is tested? Option A, job analysis. Option B, recruitment. Option C, orientation. Option D, performance appraisal. The correct answer is option D, performance appraisal. Performance appraisal fits because performance appraisal assesses how well an employee met performance expectations. Job analysis is different because it studies job duties, recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and orientation is different because it introduces new hires. Question 45. Before choosing an answer about workers are told that safety goggles must be worn in the lab at a logistics company for the greenfield unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, rule. Option B, policy. Option C, strategy. Option D, empowerment. The correct answer is option A, rule. Rule fits because a rule states exactly what must or must not be done. Policy is different because it offers broad guidance rather than a specific command. Strategy is different because it sets broad direction, and empowerment is different because it gives employees more decision authority. Question 46. One manager notices that employees worry a new system will reduce their status or job security inside a software company for the greenfield unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, empowerment. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, orientation. Option D, resistance to change. The correct answer is option D, resistance to change. Resistance to change fits because resistance to change often comes from fear, uncertainty, or perceived loss. Empowerment is different because it gives people more discretion, benchmarking is different because it compares against best practices, and orientation is different because it introduces employees to the organization. Question 47. Could a case where a leader asks employees for input before making an important decision inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit best point to which concept? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, democratic leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option C, democratic leadership. Democratic leadership fits because democratic leadership involves participation and shared input. Autocratic leadership is different because it relies on leader-centered decision-making, laissez-faire leadership is different because it provides minimal direction, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes exchanges of rewards for performance. Question 48. Why would a scenario where employees learn skills needed for their current job during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit most likely test which idea? Option A, development. Option B, recruitment. Option C, compensation. Option D, training. The correct answer is option D, training. Training fits because training develops abilities that improve current job performance. Development is different because it prepares employees for broader future roles. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and compensation is different because it provides pay and benefits. Question 49. Where does employees share unwritten values about how work should be done during an operations review for the Greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, organizational culture. Option B, organization chart. Option C, budget. Option D, job specification. The correct answer is option A, organizational culture. Organizational culture fits because organizational culture is the shared values, beliefs, and assumptions of members. Organization chart is different because it shows formal structure, budget is different because it allocates money, and job specification is different because it lists required qualifications. Question 50. Should a student connect? A manager recognizes that basic needs must be met before higher growth needs motivate employees during a strategic planning session for the Greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, equity theory. Option B, expectancy theory. Option C, reinforcement theory. Option D, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. The correct answer is option D, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs fits because Maslow's theory arranges needs from basic physiological needs to self-actualization. Equity theory is different because it focuses on fairness comparisons. Expectancy theory is different because it links effort, performance, and rewards, and reinforcement theory is different because it uses consequences to shape behavior. Question 51. Which concept is shown when a manager chooses a satisfactory solution because time and information are limited during a compliance review for the Greenfield unit? Option A, perfect rationality. Option B, bounded rationality. Option C, brainstorming. Option D, management by exception. The correct answer is option B, bounded rationality. Bounded rationality fits because bounded rationality recognizes that managers cannot always make perfectly rational decisions. Perfect rationality is different because it assumes complete information and unlimited analysis. Brainstorming is different because it generates many ideas, and management by exception is different because it focuses attention on major deviations. Question 52. Employees follow a required sequence for approving purchase orders during a merger discussion for the Greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, policy. Option B, mission. Option C, procedure. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option C, procedure. Procedure fits because a procedure lists the steps for completing a recurring task. Policy is different because it is broader and less step-by-step. Mission is different because it states the organization's purpose, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 53. During a management case, a company prepares a backup response in case a supplier fails inside a hospital department for the Greenfield unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, standing rule. Option B, job analysis. Option C, downward communication. Option D, contingency plan. The correct answer is option D, contingency plan. Contingency plan fits because a contingency plan prepares for possible future events or disruptions. Standing rule is different because it gives a continuing command for repeated behavior. Job analysis is different because it studies tasks and requirements, and downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Question 54. How should a manager classify a situation where a team member reduces tension and encourages quieter members to participate in a remote service team for the Greenfield unit? Option A, task role. Option B, maintenance role. Option C, program decision. Option D, line authority. The correct answer is option B, maintenance role. Maintenance role fits because maintenance roles support group relationships and cohesion. Task role is different because it focuses directly on completing the work. Program decision is different because it handles routine problems, and line authority is different because it commands core work activities. Question 55. When a company reinforces a new process until it becomes the normal way to work at a logistics company for the Greenfield unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, unfreezing. Option B, storming. Option C, refreezing. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option C, refreezing. Refreezing fits because refreezing stabilizes a change so the new behavior lasts. Unfreezing is different because it prepares people for change, storming is different because it is a team development stage, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 56. After frontline employees send suggestions and problems to senior managers inside a software company for the Greenfield unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, downward communication. Option B, horizontal communication. Option C, upward communication. Option D, external communication. The correct answer is option C, upward communication. Upward communication fits because upward communication flows from lower levels to higher levels. Downward communication is different because it flows from managers to employees. Horizontal communication is different because it flows across peers, and external communication is different because it crosses organizational boundaries. Question 57. If a manager compares actual performance with standards and corrects a gap inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, planning. Option B, organizing. Option C, leading. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option D, controlling. Controlling fits because controlling measures results, compares them with standards and triggers corrective action. Planning is different because it sets goals but does not measure completed results. Organizing is different because it assigns work and authority, and leading is different because it motivates people rather than evaluates variances. Question 58. To analyze a case where a leader rewards employees for meeting agreed performance targets during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit, which term should be selected? Option A, transformational leadership. Option B, servant leadership. Option C, situational leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option D, transactional leadership. Transactional leadership fits because transactional leadership uses exchanges, rewards, and corrective actions. Transformational leadership is different because it inspires commitment to change. Servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers, and situational leadership is different because it adapts style to readiness. Question 59. For an exam item where employees receive clear, challenging goals and regular feedback during an operations review for the Greenfield unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, goal-setting theory. Option B, Maslow's hierarchy. Option C, Hawthorne effect. Option D, decentralization. The correct answer is option A, goal-setting theory. Goal-setting theory fits because goal-setting theory says specific challenging goals can improve performance when accepted. Maslow's hierarchy is different because it ranks needs. Hawthorne effect is different because it involves changes due to being observed, and decentralization is different because it delegates authority downwards. Question 60. In a workplace example where a posting lists required education, skills, and experience for the role during a strategic planning session for the Greenfield unit, which concept is tested? Option A, job specification. Option B, job description. Option C, procedure. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, job specification. Job specification fits because a job specification identifies qualifications a worker needs for the job. Job description is different because it lists duties performed, procedure is different because it gives steps for a task, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 61. Before choosing an answer about frontline workers are allowed to make service decisions without waiting for approval during a compliance review for the greenfield unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, centralization. Option B, empowerment. Option C, job analysis. Option D, filtering. The correct answer is option B, empowerment. Empowerment fits because empowerment gives employees authority, information, and responsibility to act. Centralization is different because it keeps decisions at higher levels. Job analysis is different because it studies duties and requirements, and filtering is different because it distorts communication. Question 62. One manager notices that a routine refund request is handled with an established policy during a merger discussion for the greenfield unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, non-program decision. Option B, strategic alliance. Option C, job enrichment. Option D, program decision. The correct answer is option D, program decision. Program decision fits because program decisions use rules or procedures for recurring problems. Non-program decision is different because it addresses new and unusual situations. Strategic alliance is different because it is cooperation between firms, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work. Question 63. Could a case where a new competitor enters the market with lower prices inside a hospital department for the greenfield unit best point to which concept? Option A, threat. Option B, strength. Option C, opportunity. Option D, procedure. The correct answer is option A, threat. Threat fits because a threat is an external condition that can harm performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and procedure is different because it is a sequence of steps. Question 64. Why would a scenario where inspectors compare finished products with established specifications in a remote service team for the greenfield unit most likely test which idea? Option A, quality control. Option B, recruitment. Option C, delegation. Option D, vision. The correct answer is option A, quality control. Quality control fits because quality control checks outputs against standards to identify defects or variation. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants. Delegation is different because it assigns responsibility and authority, and vision is different because it describes a desired future. Question 65. Where does major decisions must be approved by top executives at a logistics company for the greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, decentralization. Option B, centralization. Option C, empowerment. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option B, centralization. Centralization fits because centralization concentrates decision authority at higher levels. Decentralization is different because it pushes authority to lower levels, empowerment is different because it gives employees more discretion, and horizontal communication is different because it flows among peers. Question 66. Should a student connect a leader makes decisions alone and expects quick compliance inside a software company for the greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, democratic leadership. Option B, laissez-faire leadership. Option C, autocratic leadership. Option D, servant leadership. The correct answer is option C, autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership fits because autocratic leadership centralizes authority in the leader. Democratic leadership is different because it invites participation. Laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers wide freedom, and servant leadership is different because it emphasizes serving followers' needs. Question 67. Which concept is shown when union representatives and management negotiate wages, hours, and working conditions inside a government agency for the greenfield unit? Option A, mediation. Option B, collective bargaining. Option C, recruitment. Option D, forecasting. The correct answer is option B, collective bargaining. Collective bargaining fits because collective bargaining is the negotiation process between labor and management. Mediation is different because it uses a neutral helper in a dispute. Recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants, and forecasting is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 68. A neutral third party hears a dispute and makes a binding decision during a staffing shortage for the greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, mediation. Option B, arbitration. Option C, brainstorming. Option D, job rotation. The correct answer is option B, arbitration. Arbitration fits because arbitration gives the third party authority to decide the outcome. Mediation is different because it helps parties negotiate without imposing a decision. Brainstorming is different because it generates ideas, and job rotation is different because it moves employees among jobs. Question 69. During a management case, a leader gives capable experts broad freedom and little direct supervision during an operations review for the greenfield unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, laissez-faire leadership. Option B, autocratic leadership. Option C, bureaucratic leadership. Option D, transactional leadership. The correct answer is option A, laissez-faire leadership. Laissez-faire leadership fits because laissez-faire leadership minimizes leader control and allows follower autonomy. Autocratic leadership is different because it is directive and centralized. Bureaucratic leadership is different because it follows rules closely, and transactional leadership is different because it emphasizes rewards and corrections. Question 70. How should a manager classify a situation where a manager sends instructions and performance expectations to employees during a strategic planning session for the greenfield unit? Option A, upward communication. Option B, downward communication. Option C, horizontal communication. Option D, grapevine. The correct answer is option B, downward communication. Downward communication fits because downward communication flows from higher levels to lower levels. Upward communication is different because it moves from employees to managers. Horizontal communication is different because it moves among peers, and grapevine is different because it is informal and unofficial. Question 71. When executives respond to a crisis the company has never faced before during a compliance review for the greenfield unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, program decision. Option B, procedure. Option C, standing plan. Option D, non-program decision. The correct answer is option D, non-program decision. Non-program decision fits because non-program decisions are novel, complex, and not solved by routine rules. Program decision is different because it handles repeated problems, procedure is different because it gives routine steps, and standing plan is different because it guides recurring situations. Question 72. After employees share unofficial information before management makes a formal announcement during a merger discussion for the greenfield unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, grapevine. Option B, organization chart. Option C, policy manual. Option D, budget report. The correct answer is option A, grapevine. Grapevine fits because the grapevine is the informal communication network inside an organization. Organization chart is different because it is a formal structure diagram. Policy manual is different because it gives official guidance, and budget report is different because it gives financial control information. Question 73. If managers compare applicants and choose the best person for the job inside a hospital department for the greenfield unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, recruitment. Option B, training. Option C, collective bargaining. Option D, selection. The correct answer is option D, selection. Selection fits because selection is the process of screening and hiring from the applicant pool. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, training is different because it builds skills after hiring, and collective bargaining is different because it negotiates labor conditions. Question 74. To analyze a case where a neutral selection test disproportionately screens out a protected group without job-related justification in a remote service team for the greenfield unit, which terms should be selected? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, management by objectives. Option C, adverse impact. Option D, horizontal communication. The correct answer is option C, adverse impact. Adverse impact fits because adverse impact occurs when an employment practice has an unfair discriminatory effect. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivators to work. Management by objectives is different because it sets agreed measurable goals, and horizontal communication is different because it occurs among peers. Question 75. For an exam item where a team generates many ideas before judging any of them at a logistics company for the greenfield unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, groupthink. Option B, arbitration. Option C, budgeting. Option D, brainstorming. The correct answer is option D, brainstorming. Brainstorming fits because brainstorming separates idea generation from evaluation to encourage creativity. Groupthink is different because it pressures members toward agreement. Arbitration is different because it lets a third party decide a dispute, and budgeting is different because it plans financial resources. Question 76. In a workplace example where middle managers convert broad goals into departmental actions inside a software company for the greenfield unit, which concept is tested? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, orientation. Option C, tactical planning. Option D, collective bargaining. The correct answer is option C, tactical planning. Tactical planning fits because tactical planning translates strategy into plans for units or departments. Strategic planning is different because it is broader and handled mainly by top management. Orientation is different because it introduces new employees to the organization, and collective bargaining is different because it is negotiation between labor and management. Question 77. Before choosing an answer about a manager refuses to hide safety information even though disclosure may reduce profit inside a government agency for the greenfield unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, efficiency. Option B, recruitment. Option C, business ethics. Option D, matrix structure. The correct answer is option C, business ethics. Business ethics fits because business ethics concerns moral standards such as honesty, fairness, and responsibility. Efficiency is different because it concerns resource use. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and matrix structure is different because it creates dual reporting. Question 78. One manager notices that two departments search for a solution that fully addresses both sides' concerns during a staffing shortage for the greenfield unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, avoidance. Option B, forcing. Option C, collaboration. Option D, compromise. The correct answer is option C, collaboration. Collaboration fits because collaboration tries to create a win-win outcome by addressing underlying interests. Avoidance is different because it postpones or ignores the conflict. Forcing is different because it uses power to win at the other's expense, and compromise is different because it requires each side to give up something. Question 79. Could a case where a leader changes direction and support based on follower readiness during an operations review for the greenfield unit best point to which concept? Option A, autocratic leadership. Option B, bureaucratic management. Option C, situational leadership. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option C, situational leadership. Situational leadership fits because situational leadership adapts leader behavior to the maturity or readiness of followers. Autocratic leadership is different because it consistently centers decisions on the leader. Bureaucratic management is different because it emphasizes formal rules, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns jobs for motivation. Question 80. Why would a scenario where frontline supervisors plan specific daily activities and work routines during a strategic planning session for the greenfield unit most likely test which idea? Option A, strategic planning. Option B, organization development. Option C, operational planning. Option D, benchmarking. The correct answer is option C, operational planning. Operational planning fits because operational planning deals with short-range tasks, procedures, and schedules. Strategic planning is different because it covers broad long-term direction. Organization development is different because it focuses on planned organizational change, and benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leading performers. Question 81. Where does consultants help improve culture, teamwork, and readiness for change during a compliance review for the greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, organization development. Option B, scientific management. Option C, recruitment. Option D, budget variance analysis. The correct answer is option A, organization development. Organization development fits because organization development uses planned interventions to improve organizational effectiveness. Scientific management is different because it focuses on task efficiency. Recruitment is different because it attracts applicants, and budget variance analysis is different because it compares planned and actual financial results. Question 82. Should a student connect a department head group's jobs, assigns authority, and allocates resources during a merger discussion for the greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, planning. Option B, organizing. Option C, leading. Option D, controlling. The correct answer is option B, organizing. Organizing fits because organizing creates the structure needed to carry out a plan. Planning is different because it chooses goals before the structure is built. Leading is different because it motivates people rather than designs jobs, and controlling is different because it checks performance after standards exist. Question 83. Which concept is shown when a team member keeps discussion focused on goals, facts, and deadlines inside a hospital department for the greenfield unit? Option A, maintenance role. Option B, blocking role. Option C, task role. Option D, informal authority. The correct answer is option C, task role. Task role fits because task roles help the group accomplish its work. Maintenance role is different because it supports relationships and morale. Blocking role is different because it disrupts group progress, and informal authority is different because it comes from influence rather than position. Question 84. An organization relies on written rules, hierarchy, specialization, and formal procedures in a remote service team for the Greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, adhocracy. Option B, grapevine. Option C, bureaucracy. Option D, job enrichment. The correct answer is option C, bureaucracy. Bureaucracy fits because bureaucracy is a formal structure built around rules, hierarchy, and defined roles. Adhocracy is different because it is flexible and innovation-oriented. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and job enrichment is different because it redesigns work for motivation. Question 85. During a management case, an employee receives performance input from supervisors, peers, subordinates, and sometimes customers at a logistics company for the Greenfield unit. Which idea is most relevant? Option A, self-managed team. Option B, 360-degree feedback. Option C, job specification. Option D, budget control. The correct answer is option B, 360-degree feedback. 360-degree feedback fits because 360-degree feedback gathers appraisal information from multiple sources around the employee. Self-managed team is different because it gives a team control over work. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications, and budget control is different because it compares financial results with a budget. Question 86. How should a manager classify a situation where work is studied to find the most efficient way to perform each task inside a software company for the Greenfield unit? Option A, human relations approach. Option B, scientific management. Option C, contingency theory. Option D, bureaucracy. The correct answer is option B, scientific management. Scientific management fits because scientific management emphasizes task analysis, standard methods, and efficiency. Human relations approach is different because it emphasizes social needs and worker attitudes. Contingency theory is different because it argues management depends on the situation, and bureaucracy is different because it emphasizes hierarchy and rules. Question 87. When each side gives up part of what it wants to reach a settlement inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit, which concept is being applied? Option A, compromise. Option B, collaboration. Option C, avoidance. Option D, accommodation. The correct answer is option A, compromise. Compromise fits because compromise resolves conflict through mutual concessions. Collaboration is different because it seeks a fuller win-win solution. Avoidance is different because it sidesteps the issue, and accommodation is different because it yields to the other side. Question 88. After leaders describe what the organization wants to become in the future during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit, which label best fits the action? Option A, role. Option B, vision statement. Option C, job description. Option D, concurrent control. The correct answer is option B, vision statement. Vision statement fits because a vision statement expresses an inspiring future state. Role is different because it states a specific required or prohibited behavior. Job description is different because it lists duties of a position, and concurrent control is different because it monitors work while it is happening. Question 89. If workers plan, schedule, monitor, and control much of their own work during an operations review for the Greenfield unit, which choice gives the strongest management explanation? Option A, self-managed team. Option B, traditional team. Option C, virtual organization. Option D, quality circle. The correct answer is option A, self-managed team. Self-managed team fits because self-managed teams have authority over many administrative and work process decisions. Traditional team is different because it relies more on a supervisor for direction. Virtual organization is different because it uses networks and technology across locations, and quality circle is different because it usually recommends improvements rather than manages all work. Question 90. To analyze a case where a company identifies a patented process it owns as an advantage during a strategic planning session for the Greenfield unit, which term should be selected? Option A, threat. Option B, strength. Option C, opportunity. Option D, weakness. The correct answer is option B, strength. Strength fits because a strength is an internal positive capability or resource. Threat is different because it is an external danger. Opportunity is different because it is an external positive condition, and weakness is different because it is an internal limitation. Question 91. For an exam item where an employer uses job-related criteria and avoids discrimination in hiring during a compliance review for the Greenfield unit, which answer is most accurate? Option A, equal employment opportunity. Option B, job enlargement. Option C, grapevine. Option D, benchmarking. The correct answer is option A, equal employment opportunity. Equal employment opportunity fits because equal employment opportunity requires fair treatment in employment decisions. Job enlargement is different because it expands tasks, grapevine is different because it is informal communication, and benchmarking is different because it compares with best practices. Question 92. In a workplace example where an employee follows formal steps to challenge a contract violation during a merger discussion for the Greenfield unit, which concept is tested? Option A, selection procedure. Option B, grievance procedure. Option C, budgeting process. Option D, brainstorming. The correct answer is option B, grievance procedure. Grievance procedure fits because a grievance procedure gives employees a formal path for resolving workplace complaints. Selection procedure is different because it screens job applicants, budgeting process is different because it plans financial resources, and brainstorming is different because it generates ideas before judging them. Question 93. Before choosing an answer about a document lists the duties, responsibilities, and reporting relationships of a position inside a hospital department for the Greenfield unit, which concept should stand out? Option A, job specification. Option B, policy. Option C, forecast. Option D, job description. The correct answer is option D, job description. Job description fits because a job description explains what the job holder does. Job specification is different because it lists qualifications needed, policy is different because it gives broad decision guidance, and forecast is different because it estimates future conditions. Question 94. One manager notices that employees can trace who reports to whom from supervisor to executive in a remote service team for the Greenfield unit. Which management idea is involved? Option A, job enrichment. Option B, benchmarking. Option C, equity theory. Option D, chain of command. The correct answer is option D, chain of command. Chain of command fits because the chain of command shows the formal line of authority. Job enrichment is different because it adds motivating responsibility to work, benchmarking is different because it compares performance with best practices, and equity theory is different because it concerns perceived fairness. Question 95. Could a case where an employee compares pay and effort with coworkers and judges fairness at a logistics company for the Greenfield unit best point to which concept? Option A, expectancy theory. Option B, Maslow's theory. Option C, equity theory. Option D, TQM. The correct answer is option C, equity theory. Equity theory fits because equity theory focuses on perceived fairness between inputs and outcomes. Expectancy theory is different because it asks whether effort will lead to valued rewards. Maslow's theory is different because it ranks needs in a hierarchy, and TQM is different because it focuses on continuous quality improvement. Question 96. Why would a scenario where a company gives managers broad guidance for handling customer refunds inside a software company for the Greenfield unit most likely test which idea? Option A, procedure. Option B, policy. Option C, rule. Option D, vision. The correct answer is option B, policy. Policy fits because a policy is a general guideline for recurring decisions. Procedure is different because it gives exact steps to follow, rule is different because it states a specific required or prohibited action, and vision is different because it describes a desired future. Question 97. Where does a manager defines a problem, lists alternatives, evaluates them, and selects a solution inside a government agency for the Greenfield unit fit best in management terminology? Option A, rational decision-making model. Option B, grapevine. Option C, equity theory. Option D, laissez-faire leadership. The correct answer is option A, rational decision-making model. Rational decision-making model fits because the rational model uses a logical sequence to choose among alternatives. Grapevine is different because it is informal communication, equity theory is different because it explains motivation through fairness, and laissez-faire leadership is different because it gives followers broad freedom. Question 98. Should a student connect, a manager must explain why a project missed its target during a staffing shortage for the Greenfield unit with which management concept? Option A, authority. Option B, delegation. Option C, accountability. Option D, recruitment. The correct answer is option C, accountability. Accountability fits because accountability means being answerable for results. Authority is different because it is decision-making power, delegation is different because it transfers work and authority to another person, and recruitment is different because it attracts job applicants. Question 99. Which concept is shown when a leader recognizes frustration in a team and responds calmly during an operations review for the Greenfield unit? Option A, emotional intelligence. Option B, technical skill. Option C, benchmarking. Option D, span of control. The correct answer is option A, emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence fits because emotional intelligence involves understanding and managing emotions in oneself and others. Technical skill is different because it concerns specialized job knowledge. Benchmarking is different because it compares practices with leaders, and span of control is different because it counts direct reports. Question 100. A firm discovers its outdated software is hurting productivity during a strategic planning session for the Greenfield unit. Which term best matches the situation? Option A, strength. Option B, weakness. Option C, opportunity. Option D, threat. The correct answer is option B, weakness. Weakness fits because a weakness is an internal limitation that can reduce performance. Strength is different because it is an internal advantage, opportunity is different because it comes from a favorable external condition, and threat is different because it comes from an unfavorable external condition.